Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today, focusing in on the covert narcissist manipulation tactic of creating an atmosphere of persistent doubt. Now, the covert narcissist, in terms of the various personality disorders that are on the Cluster B DSM-5R, the diagnostic manual that mental health professionals use to diagnose and treat the personality disorders, the Cluster B, such as your narcissist, your borderline, your psychopathic individuals. Creating an atmosphere of doubt is essentially a byproduct. It's a sort of end result. It's an effect of the mindset of their sense of superiority and lack of empathy. And so in the covert narcissist, their lack of empathy exists in their lack of emotional intelligence and lack of communication. So it's the very sort of subjects that they skate over, that they deny, that they repress, that they keep hidden, keep concealed. And through their defense mechanisms of projection or remaining just socially aloof, just unavailable, caught up in other things, that they create an atmosphere of persistent doubt. And at first, really in the love bombing, I would say the love bombing phase with the covert narcissist tends to be quite a bit longer than that of the overt narcissist. So really when everything is going without question, without analysis in the beginning of the relationship, when things are really moving along quite fabulously. Everybody, you're happy if you're the supportive one with the covert narcissist. Sorry about that, a little shake. Essentially, you're strong. You're the bubbly. You're the vivacious one. You're the yang to the yin, meaning the yang is like the stronger, aggressive, sort of outgoing, friendly, sort of dynamic energy, and the yin is the counteract to it. So it's the more yielding, the more passive, the more receptive, the more understated energy. So you are like the complement to their passivity. And so it tends to work out quite well in the beginning because you're able to really be all that you are. And however, though, after you kind of move through that honeymoon phase, you find that really that there is something missing, in that you are trying really too hard in the relationship. You're having to pick up the slack too many times. You're having to do too much heavy lifting. You're noticing that there are certain things that are just sort of not right in the relationship. You feel that there's perhaps something wounded about them, or there's something that is kind of simmering beneath the surface, but yet you can't quite put your finger on it. You don't know that this is perhaps an issue with their personality, so you tend to just overlook it, or you tend to ignore it and just think that it's going to pass. But what ends up happening with time is the deficit becomes a little bit deeper. It becomes more pronounced. It becomes more of a void, an experience of silence. And really this silence creates this pervasive environment of persistent doubt, which means, I'm not quite, I don't have you as a springboard here. I don't have you as a sounding board. I feel like I'm, constantly having to look after you or take care of you or remind you or kind of help you along. You need a sort of helping hand, and not just on a relationship manner. There seems to be something more missing, so you end up becoming really bigger than life sort of supply for them, or support or encouragement, and it becomes unbalanced. And this doubt, though, tends to then pervade the environment because you're not comfortable in what you're picking up from this covert narcissist. You know that there's something kind of lurking underneath the surface, and it's kind of like you're just trying to feel around in the dark for what is lurking underneath, but they have it so concealed that you really can't pry it open. And some people get what, it's almost like they almost feel like they're stonewalled, or they're shut out, they're shut off, and it becomes uncomfortable that you have to constantly confront them. You feel like you have to constantly confront them, and I need this, I need that, and then it gets to the point then, because of this persistent doubt, you feel like you have to almost steal their attention or do something disruptive to get their attention. And I've spoken with a number of clients who have gone into fits of rage because they're so upset and so frustrated, and like just trying to get some sort of communication out of this person and get beyond that sort of stonewall of doubt and emotional shutdown. And so this can be really a true hallmark that there's something an issue, because really a true compliment to your relationship should help you to bring out the best of you. Sure, there's times up and down where the relationship is going to experience different highs and lows, but eventually things just kind of tend to play themselves out. It tends to work out. People get sick, people get better. It's a natural ebb and flow of relationships. But in the covert narcissist, there tends to be this pervasive environment of doubt and disappointment, and like, I've failed you and I'm not good enough. It is just really created by a sort of power vacuum. So if this indeed is an experience where you're feeling this, realize that this is in essence a manipulation tactic, where the covert narcissist will shut down and shut you out and make you just kind of attached in silence, attached in attached out of guilt, attached out of fear, attached out of concern, and you really don't know what the concern is. So that's how they keep you essentially stuck and unable to really move beyond and fulfill your own destiny and feel like you're liberated to be your own person. And once again, I work with a number of different people on this specific, and if you find like you're really at a crossroads here, please do email me at peaceandharmonynow@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to work with you on a custom basis and customize exactly really a sort of an identification of exactly the dynamics that are going on in your life, and identify how they're impacting you, and then how to really move beyond those barriers, because it can create a real barrier and a real disrupt in one's life. It can be crippling, it can be debilitating, because so much of your time is spent being in a conflict consciousness with them, and things just aren't moving forward as they should. And there's definitely ways of expediting and providing solutions and healing through this and moving through it and communicating through it and just getting beyond, so that your life is not spent just trying to figure out and live for someone else. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.